Dis by ons, nee, hy ook in die man was bar geweest. Het ons gesê, luister die boys, spok dit. Ja, sure nog. Ja.
Kyk wat hy met G-Force gedoen. Hy het heeltemal van die pad afgery. Heeltemal. Hy het voor met die smakkie heeltemal uitgecrash. Hy het my so fucked up gedaai vir my hele front wing was weg.
Hy was ook die eerste een wat gesê het, ja, mense moet hom nie daai om nie, anders stop hy sy kar binne in die mense se TV-kamers.
My name is Jeff. Wim.
Kan jy asseblief vir Nila die Discord link stuur? Hy gaan ons ook join en hy wil op die chat wees. Ek dink hy het alles gedoen.
Okay. Ek stuur vir hom aan.
Op uitdrag.
Sorry.
Hoor julle, as Quali begin, gaan ek duik in my eie...
Ja, as moet ek gaan try commentate boys, so bear with me.
Ek sal 'n race engineer vir julle.
Jy live?
Ek's live, ja?
Ek doen dit maar net vir my POV.
Ja, ek my eie reis doen ek ook so, maar ja.
Is my span man. Ek kom met jou WhatsApp stuur.
Wat nou join?
Ek het eers span maak die boys.
Maar luister, daar's seker soos
Nee, ek kan gou vir jou een organise.
daar's seker 5 ouens wat môre getoets word. So bear with us. Volgende week moet daar heelwat baie meer ouens wees. Daar's soos 5 ouens wat dag om te getoets te word.
Is Bout een van hulle?
Jep, daar's 'n Willem, daar's 'n
Hy ry Tier 1 by UGL. Hy is 'n goeie drywer.
Hy gaan dadelik op die end van ek weet nie of dit waar nie.
ja, ek dink in 'n geval ek gaan Tier 2 toe skuif, hoor. Dis daar's so vinnig veel. Daar's klop ouens wat nou vinnig is wat dit kom, hoor. Maar ek oorweeg, ja.
Ja, hy ry op meeste van die tracks en af. Ek dink net Monaco ry.
Hy ook nie sy broeke is ook nie.
Ja, hy ry weer af.
Dis nie waar.
Dit is baie. Alright, dis almal wat in gaan wees. Het julle nog iemand wat julle wil wag vir Nila? Nee, is dan met chat.
Iemand moet net nie vir hy wiel weer pak, Jenny. Dit was 'n missie om uit join hy.
Op wat
China is die plek waar hulle die shit gemaak.
Myne was my in India.
Don't put that tire on the wheel. Het val af daar. Huh? Ja, weet jy ek het val. Ek met robots vasmaak.
En julle eie glitch en eie gun.
Yes.
Nee, ek ken nie.
Ja, hy ouens is ook
Tian Botes. Daai man.
Hy swaai vandag.
Hier gisterand gesien, liewe bliksem.
Kan jy nou gesê gaan iets spesiaal wees?
Lila.
Ja, ek join nou in sy joining session.
Alright.
Is die vanafste weer Franna? Is dit Swartwolf of Outlaw Fight like?
Dis Bout. Dis die vanafste UGL.
Ons kom is consistency, heeltyd dieselfde lap.
Okay boys, ek dink ons gaan maar ready af, hoor. Dis dit almal. Ja, Clerks is in nou.
Alright boys, hier kan ons met Kingston. So,
As jy al halfryder nie, jy is veilig.
Jy begin.
ek gaan jou nou skof.
Kom ry jy.
Dit kom aan tyd vanaand. Althans probeer.
Dan maak jy daar agter.
Nee, ek is daar agter. Jy was fok agter gisterand.
Ek was naby podium. Ek was agter Donna gewees.
Naby podium. DNF beteken nie podium nie.
Maar jou eerste 2 minute in 'n quali en jy is eerste of naby podium is die podium nie, hoor. Jy wag tot almal klaar quali.
Alright boys, ek gaan leave. Ek gaan ja.
Daar 2 laps gery.
Good night, gents. Welcome to Tier 2. So for tonight's week, only gonna have 8 drivers on the track, 8 drivers in the race, and looks like Clerks is gonna put on the medium and go for the long stint. Clerksy on mediums is going to be the first one out on his out lap. Then with the Aston of Gambit on a soft. No, so it looks like Clerksy will fancy the soft, which is the obvious choice. So the drivers will have the C2, C3, C4 at their disposal, with the C2 a hard tyre and the C4 a soft. Let's get on board with Clerksy and see how he goes up against the fast guy. Misses his braking point, eats the gravel. Let's get on board. This straight will give him about an extra of 10 kilometers per hour going to turn 1 at 276 kilometers an hour. Changes down to third gear on the brakes, second gear to the fast sweeping left-hander on the throttle, up the gears, heading into turn 5. Which is going to be a flat out into turn 6, hard braking area, the second slowest corner on the track. He'll finish up sector 1, starting sector 2 with a fast sweeping left-hander, and then followed by the right-hander of turn 8. Again on the brakes for turn 9, then turn 10 flat out up to turn 11, which is going to be a high braking area. Turning left into turn 12 and 13, which is going to be a hairpin down to the fastest and longest straight on the F1 calendar at a whopping 1.2 kilometers. You'll open the DRS on the activation zone, which will gain him an extra of 12 kilometers per hour. Heading down to turn 14 on the brakes, getting down to gear 2 on the throttle, up towards 250 kilometers per hour on the brakes, down to gear 3, opens the DRS and finishes the lap on a 134.8 on a medium. Sorry, I was mistaken. Gambit with more than a second ahead of Cloak C, but that is obvious because of the tire difference of the C3 and the C4. And again, Spinnekop and Sensifold could not match on the first flyer. Only a tenth separates Gambit and Spinnekop at the moment. Let's see how John does. Heading down to turn 14, up the gears towards 250 kilometers an hour. On the brakes, throwing that car into turn 16, on the curb, opening the DRS and over the line. And it does it on a 133.2, 3 tenths faster than Gambit. Next up will be Lopel. I think the Ferraris have found something to settle with Sensifold here. They would want to lock out the front row because they lost everything to Sensifold, being too eager on the brakes and causing themselves some front wing damage. Heading down to turn 14 on the brakes, throwing that car into turn 14, exits on turn 15. Trying to finish the lap, deploys all the battery can, cuts the corner a bit on the DRS and crosses the line on a 134.155, which is only good enough for P4 on a medium. There's a slow moving car. No, it's just yielding. No, it just come out of the pits, it's only yielding. Let's see John Coe, maybe he can extend his lead. The tires will not be optimal anymore. There would be a bit of degradation. Is he gonna bail? He's gonna bail. He's going back in the pits. Put on a fresh pair of front sneakers and try again. He has provisional pole at the moment. We haven't seen any team orders or team play, but it's most likely that the Ferraris will try it. They need to keep Sensifold out of the front row and keep that to themselves to finish here on a double podium and put themselves ahead on the scorecards. Blackpool's on another flyer. Not a lot of battery left. Fuel is low. This should be the best the tire will be. Cuts the corner a bit. Turn 14, exits on turn 15, up towards 260 kph. He's gonna also put on a fresh set of boots. Crispy Jam over the line, a bit slower than his previous lap. Could not improve his time or his position. That's the third lap on that soft compound tire. And let's see what Frana can do. Into turn 3, 4. Want to rotate that car, get on the power, up the gears. No, it's not on the flyer. So the previous one, he would have got some track limits and disqualified that lap. So he would go around and try again. Let's ride on board with Cloaksy. On the soft compound now. Flat out, through turn 5, up the gears. Around about the 100-meter board, on the brakes, down the gears to second. Gets the power down. Burn some battery into the fast sweeping left, followed by the fast sweeping right of turn 8. Just a dab of brakes. He is gonna brake, turn left, exits on turn 10, flat out on the full throttle, up the gears. Around about the 75-meter mark, on the brakes, down the gears. Hits the apex. Now he wants to rotate the car as fast as possible to get on the throttle to set him up for the straight. Opens the DRS up towards 340 kilometers an hour, around about the 150-meter mark, on the brakes, down the gear 2, on the throttle, exits on turn 15, on the brakes again, down to 4th gear, opens the DRS, and he finishes with a 133.7. So that, guys, is what the difference is between the medium of the C3 and the soft of C4. 1.1 seconds over one lap. You must remember, this lap is optimal for qualifying, but not for the race, because tire deg is quite high, and it's going to be the fastest tire for the first 7 to 8 laps. But then tire degradation will bring the medium into contention and will be a faster tire. Misses the apex a bit on the throttle. Let's see if we can hook up 10-16, the last corner of this track. Cut the corner a bit. And over the line with a 137.3, which is still not good enough to bring up the standings. Jump to Spinnekop, and Ferrari seem to have locked out the front row. Spinnekop has provisional pole at the moment. Should be heading into the pits. Yeah. 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Should be about one out lap, a flyer, and a cooldown lap. Or maybe one out lap, one prep lap, and one flying lap. Bit low in ERS for Gambit, which is at the moment in P3 on the second row. Let's see what he can do. DRS opens, and he finishes with only 0.06 of a second better than his previous lap. Improves his time, but not his position. Let's head down to Blowpole. Seems like he just started his flyer. Biggest elevation change is in turn 1, which is the highest point. Hits the apex, gets into the exit, quietly, no corrections made. Goes through turn 7, turn 8 at 250 kilometers an hour. Dab of the brakes, turns left on the throttle, hooks forth on the ERS at the 75 meter mark, on the brakes, down to third gear, second gear. wants to rotate this car as quick as possible to get on the throttle, set him up for this long straight. Maybe he's got a bit of a slipstream here at front. Let's see if he utilizes it. The DRS is about 12 kilometers of extra top speed you have on the straight. Measures the apex with that understeer onto the exit. On the prep lap with Crispy Jam, and he will start his flyer on the next lap, which should be his last. So this is all or nothing. Let's see how he stacks up against the pair of Ferraris. And let's not forget about Sensifold, the sprint winner from Thursday night. Battled hard against the two Ferraris, but ultimately they couldn't defeat him, and he took the win. Started from P2 and smashed them. Let's head down to Jonko, which should start his flyer on the next go around. Let's ride on board with Jonko for his penultimate tour of this track. Into the last corner, burns the DRS, opens the DRS, starts his lap, heading upwards to 340 kilometers an hour. He needs to get the trail braking just fine here. Hits the apex at turn 3, turns for turn 4, rotates the car, get on the throttle. Into turn 6, on the brakes, throws the car into turn 6, hits the apex, on the throttle, up the gears, towards 250 kph, through turn 7 and 8. Dab of the brakes to make the corner, misses the apex with understeer, a bit of oversteer, that's gonna hit his time, Don't think he'll get, Ferrari will get the front lock out, not with that oversteer. He needs to rotate the car, yeah? Get on the throttle as quick as possible. Deploys the ERS. Still has half of a battery left. Opens the DRS. This will gain him about 12 kilometers per hour. 150 meter mark on the brakes. Down to gear 2. Hits the curb on turn 15. Throws the car into turn 16, cuts the corner, opens the DRS with a 133.057. Will somebody dethrone the Ferraris? We'll just have to wait and see. Our best hope is for Sensifold, which looks much stabler and finer through this second sector of this lap. Nicely on the throttle, no oversteer, no corrections. Just pure horsepower and anything. Tap of the brakes into turn 12. Turn 13 at the hairpin. Gets into the throttle nice and easily. He has a slipstream ahead of him. Will he utilize it? Opens the DRS. Top speed is a bit low at 320 kilometers per hour. Hits the apex at turn 14. Hits to turn 15. Bit of wheel spin there at 4th gear. cut the corner, over the rubble strip, and over the line with a 132.76, and he splits the Ferrari with the best lap, improves his own time with 1.2 seconds. Can you believe that? Another statement from the McLaren driver. Thursday night all over again. Sense of fault in P2. The Ferrari is in front of him and behind him. But Oaks, this is going to be a long race. 56 laps ahead of them. Anything can happen. If he wants to make this stick for McLaren, he needs to get in front of the Ferraris, avoid the dirty air, and seal this race as early as possible. That, guys, is your qualifying for Tier 2 at the Chinese Grand Prix. With the top 5 quietly nice, bunched up with about 4 tenths, which is not that bad. With Frana failing to set up any lap, I have a feeling that track limits and time penalties are gonna have a big influence on his race tonight. Oaks, we're just waiting for them to choose their strategies and all the things set up, and then we can continue. Right, folks, here we have it. Formation lap. So for this race, it will be a 305,000. 305 kilometer race. The track distance is about 5.451 kilometers over 56 laps, which will be the first Tier 2 100% race for Season 2. Heading towards turn 5, which will be a flat out into turn 6, which is your first high braking area, which leads us to turn 7 and 8, which has an average of 250 kilometers through this far sweeping left and right, with a touch of dab of brakes round about here to make the corner of turn 8, and then another dab of brakes to make turn 9, which leads us to turn 10, which is going to be full out up to gear 4 round about here, then 5, then 6, and the round about 75 meter mark on the brakes throws us into turn 11. On the brakes a bit to turn 12, which is the hairpin, is the inside of turn 13, washes out to the exit of turn 13, and leads us to the longest straight on the F1 calendar. Here we've got some tire strategies with a medium hard and a hard soft medium hard. I would reckon that the first one will be a bit faster. Just have to manage those mediums and watch out for that soft, because it will have a drop off. We just passed turn 14, the slowest corner of this track and the most likely area for overtakes. Heading to the last corner of turn 16, following the drivers to the grid boxes. This formation lap will be critical to get these brakes and tires up to temp, which will have a big influence on the pull away out of the grid boxes. Let's have the front row seat here at Spinnekop and see what happens. He will be on the clean part of the track. But we'll have the disadvantage of the outside. 5 red lights and away we go. Good launch for Sensorfault. Almost alongside Spinnekop. Almost makes contact. Sensorfault takes the lead again on lap 1, turn 1. These Ferraris just don't have an answer. Now Sensorfault just needs to clear the 1 second of the DRS in this first lap, otherwise he's gonna have a hell of a battle on his hands with these 2 Ferraris directly behind him. 2 teammates, they can split their strategies to undermine whatever he does in the pits. Let's see what tires all of them wanted to go on. So we've got a medium for Sensafold, medium for Spinnerkop, the first Ferrari, and a soft for Jonko, the second Ferrari, a Williams, a soft, Gambit with a medium, Cloakzy with a medium, and a hard for Frana. He also gained a position on the first lap. This will be critical. This is going to be a battle of downforce. Are you compromising your straight line with the rear wing, or are you going for the overtakes on the straight? So we have Spinnerkop again into the lead. A bit of a lockup, leaves enough space, but the outside becomes the inside into turn 16. Spinnerkop could not hold on to the lead. Sensafold again, lap 2 starts and he's in front with the fastest lap at the 141.7. Next lap will be a bit faster because they had the start, which they were not at top speed. DRS enabled for lap 2. This dirty edge is gonna disturb all those behind Sensafold, including Spinnerkop, Jonko, Blopel, Cloakzy and Gambit. Frana and Crispy looks like they're going to have their own battle here. Don't know if it was a slow start or a lock-up or somewhere. Maybe they had contact. We'll have to see and wait. Spinnerkop needs to hold on to this. Only 5 tenths. He needs about 5.5 to 6 tenths to make the overtake on the main straight. It's going to gain him an extra of 12 kilometers per hour. He needs to manage that battery and not deploy it now. Wait for the straight and burn that Duracell. 5 tenths, 4.8. He is gaining and has not even had the DRS. DRS is going to open any moment now. There it opens. As you can see, the rear flap opens, giving him about an extra 12 km per hour on the inside. Let's look what happens. Sensafold on the brakes a bit later. Looks like Spinnerkop has the lead. Now he needs to work as a good teammate and keep him behind so his teammate Jonko can hold him back. From there they can work as a team and secure 1-2 at the Chinese Grand Prix, scoring them both the maximum amount of points. Oh, and they make contact. Sensafold is out. He loses 3 positions. Is the front wing damage? I doubt it. I think it was only the wing. The front wheel. Now they just need to break clear of Cloakzy. Cloakzy in that Red Bull looks fast tonight. He wasn't all there in Thursday. Also not at the tier 1 race last night. He is not in DRS zone. He needs to get back to DRS zone for Jonko because he has Sensafold behind him. The Ferraris need to play the team game here and help each other with the DRS. Break clear of Sensafold, getting out of reach so they can secure 1-2 for Ferrari. Frana is struggling on that hards. It's going to be a bit cold still. It should be coming on into operating temperature, the carcass of the tire and the oaks around him. Let's see what tires they have. As soft, so we will still float away slowly but surely from Blopel for the first about 7 to 6 laps, and from there on he will start gaining. We've got a separation here at Krispy Kreme. Looks like here's a battle coming. And Sensafold takes... Oh, and they have contact. That's some carbon fiber that came off. And some also a bit of front wing. Looks like side port also. The McLaren looks intact, but the Red Bull definitely has an end plate missing. It will not cost him a lot, but it will cost him some time. He's on the medium, so you have to sit this stint out. Push as hard as he can. There is nothing he's gonna gain for pitting now. It's gonna drop him out of most likely P4, or maybe if something happens in the front again, P3. And these two McLarens just needs to hit the braking points, entry points and exits as perfectly as they can. Hold this line, help each other with the DRS, and they will secure a 1-2 at the Chinese Grand Prix. Sensevold's now in front of Cloakzy. Cloakzy is dropping down like a stone in water. That front end plate is causing him a lot of understeer. Let's get into the POV and see what is. Oh, and there's gonna be contact. He hits Gambit. That should be another front wing. He needs to pit. There's no use of staying out anymore. That front wing is gone. I think Gambit also has some side port because he hit him real hard. That's gonna cost him in the straight. Not so much in the turns and the wiggles, but definitely on the straight. Let's see if we can't see if he has a bit of damage. It's gonna be hard from this angle, but maybe if the broadcast gives us a nice point of view of Gambit, we can see if he has damage on the left side of his side pod. That will hurt him if he has damage on the straight lines. Those Ferraris looks a further away. No, it looks like that the Aston came out of that unscathed. We will not know for sure. We'll have to hear from that after the post-race reports. Sensevold needs to clear this Aston. I don't think he's a big threat, but you don't want to get into a battle at this moment. The race is still long. You don't want to hurt your tires and screw up your stint. He's a bit far to do anything, but you never know. Maybe the Oak likes some lunges and dive bombs. Down to turn 14. Burns a bit of ERS. Battery is very low, but he stays a bit of a lockup. It's gonna cause some flat spots, a bit of rumbling effect on the driving. It's not gonna be smooth, but it's not that bad. Let's look at the timing pages. We have a 138.2 for Spinnekop and a 138.5. So it's about 3 tenths that is losing out, which is not bad considering that the Ferraris in front is playing the DRS game. So what that actually means is your teammate is in front, you get into the detection zone, you pass him with battery and DRS, and your teammate does the same on the next lap, which means you're slingshotting yourself with a 3 to 4 tenths per lap extra that you gain on the DRS zones. They just need a whole station like this. If it was me, I would have let John go through. He has the soft. Use that soft while you can before the degradation starts hurting you, and then your teammate can come back into play and work together as a team and sort out the gap to your rival, which is McLaren. Gambit is very close there. I think that this McLaren has some damage. It's not noticeable, but I think it has damage. But also, Gambit, I think he has damage. Look at the top speed, only 328 kilometers per hour with the RS open. But also Sensevold is locking up time and again at turn 14. I think he also has some, maybe the fuser bar. I didn't see any contact from the rear, but I think he has some cyber damage, which is hurting his straight line speed. He only cleared 310 kilometers an hour on that straight now, which should be around about 340. 30 kilometers per hour. That's a big difference. You can see that McLaren is falling like a stone away from those Ferraris. If they can keep it clean, they can do the front look at this on this weekend. Let's head to Crispy and see if he fancies some overtakes into turn 6. I think it's a bit far, but yeah, maybe he does the lunge. As long as it's clean, I don't think there will be any problems. Missed this apex a bit. You need to clear this blow pole, this car in front, because that air is gonna gonna hurt his stint. These mediums is not gonna like this sliding and grinding around on this tarmac. You can see Gambit is already, Blowpill is already struggling on that soft. The soft is going to be very quick on the first 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 laps. Depends on what your setup is. But it's going to fall off very quick once the race starts. These cars are very, very heavy. It's going to be the heaviest they're going to be in this race. Full of fuel. And the soft is not going to like, oh, and he has a bit of oversteer. He could have done the overtake here, but I think this is going to cost him. He needs to wait another lap and try the overtake then. Battery is luckily a lot. Maybe you can try it now, but 1 second is a lot, eh? Cut the corner a bit. I think that should be a penalty, or not a penalty, a caution. You get 2 cautions, and on the 3rd strike, you get a 3-second penalty. Cloaks is out again on hards. Maybe it's gonna go right through to the end with these tires. It's gonna be hard, but it's doable. It's gonna be a bit faster than the Oaks in front, around about 12, lap 12, 14. It should be matching Blowpill and John Co around about lap 10 because they have the softs on, and that's the degradation on that tire is gonna be a bit more. Replace the front wing, but yeah, I think he is distraught in that car now. He was in for podium contention maybe. And these Ferraris are working this DRS game to perfection. 1 and 2, 1 with softs, 1 with mediums. They don't need to double stack, just need to play the DRS game. 1 follows, 1 leads. Normally it's the faster tire, but in this case it's the medium at front, soft at the back. Maybe the overtake is gonna come now. No, he doesn't fancy it now. He needs to clear this McLaren as fast as possible. It's only gonna get worse for him. They both have mediums. He needs to burn some battery, get onto the outside, because the outside becomes the inside, which is the optimal line. Into turn 3 and 4. You can cut him off, you can stoot hom bietjie met die sakdoek as jy wil. Good exit for Gambit, up to 4 tenths. Maybe he fancies a lunge into turn 6. No, he doesn't. He's going to wait for the DRS line at turn 11. Fuel is very much spread under the 2 teammates ahead. That's close to each other. Then you have Crispy chasing Blowpill. The overtake should come any moment now. That softs is gonna be a hard thing to control. Look at that oversteer, and he's not even in dirty air. No understeer. Getting out of turn 9 and 10 is gonna be hard on that soft tire. It's not gone or used up. There's still a bit of grip left, but it's getting harder and harder to get onto the throttle. Bit of snappiness there from Crispiest. Gets into the battery. 6 tenths, 5 tenths, opens the DRS. 12 km per hour disposal at him. 3 tenths, 2.5, 2, 1.5, gets the overtake done. No defensive move at all. I think Gambit, no, his race is not with Crispiest Jam at the moment. He just needs to race his own race, try and keep in DRS, use that at his benefit, but he needs to be careful of the dirty air. That's going to hurt his tire even more. Roundabout here, it's a hard right turn. You see that dirty air pushes him wide, and when you get onto the left side of the track, that marbles there is just only going to worsen your situation. It's going to wash you outside of the track. Get gravel stuck onto that tire, and it's going to take a few corners to get rid of them. Purple just needs to stay into DRS if he wants to keep safe. I think he's clear of Cloaksy, but Frana is still a threat to him. Cloaksy definitely has some sidepod damage. This car is losing time, lap after lap, and it's still a long race. I don't see anything on the sidepods yet, but we don't know the diffuser or maybe the underfloor. 40% of the downforce on this car is generated by the floor, and if that takes a knock, understeer, oversteer, snappiness, all that stuff comes into play. Also, it eats your tire much quicker than you would have liked. So looks like the two Ferraris is said, okay, this is it, bud, you're on your own, I'm going after my own race. And John Coe comes into the pit, misses the turning point almost into the barrier there. Don't want that on your first stop. That's going to be an extra 5 seconds to 6 seconds of standing still in your pit box. Looks at it, 4 tires off, 4 tires on, 2.2 seconds. Not a bad stop. Is gonna wash out until P7, P6. I think he will clear Frana. Let's see who win. Yeah, no, he's gonna take it. Now he just needs to put lap in after lap after lap, and we're up for some undercuts here. Don't know if they're gonna do the McLaren call of Monza. If Spinnakop gets a slow stop, but yeah, that's papaya rules. That's reserved for the McLaren cars only. I think Gambit can do that with another lockup. There's definitely some damage on this McLaren. Lockup after lockup. That's gonna hurt your tire. Lap after lap. Lockup after lockup. 310s. This definitely should seal the overtake here. Depends on the damage that he has, eh? 320 kph maybe, 330, 340. Get on the brakes as late as possible. Oh, when he locks up, but he still makes the apex. Bit wide, but he makes it. Turn 15, turn 16. Straight into that corner, get on the throttle as quick as possible. Opens the DRS, don't deploy your battery. You want to save up around about to 80 to 90%, deploy it into that back straight. But it looks like Sensefall's not gonna just let him through. He is gonna work for this podium position. This man has set his eyes on podium or a race win, and he's not gonna let it go. Gambit, my friend, you have a lot of work still to do. Blopel hasn't gone in for the pit yet. He fancies a longer stint on the softs. This guy is going to start struggling out here now. This tire is just going to start falling away faster and faster, lap after lap. Times are going to get slower. Stabilization is going to get harder. X is going to be harder. OSDs are going to occur easier and easier. Bit of OSD there and understeer. Yo. But it sets it into turn 9 and turn 10. Fancy some ERS there. Wants to get on the brakes here. Around about 75 meters. Throws the car in. Down to gear 2. Dive of the brakes up to gear 3. Rotate the car as far as possible to get onto the throttle. And now it's flat out. Burn your battery. Get to the finish. The end of this long straight at turn 14. Which is going to be the slowest corner of the track. Battery is depleted at 7%. Gets onto the brake, throws it in. Hooks up gear 1, 2, 3. Full out throttle. And on gear 7 on the brakes. Throws it in. Heads down to turn 1. Just losing lap after lap after lap. 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap. Heading into turn 1, biggest elevation change on this track with 7.4 meters higher than the average height of the track here. With a big elevation change again at around turn 3. And guys, I think the order has been set for the first stint, for the first part of this race. I think it's going to be a 2-stopper. doing a one-stop is going to be a bit hard. Let's look at Frana. He's in the pits there. Oh, he's already exiting. Cloaks is going to overtake him there. Maybe he had some damage, or he didn't fancy that hard because that's a bit quick for the hard stint. This is going to set him up definitely for a two, maybe a 3-stop even. There's the overtake coming here. It's already been done. John Co pass Blue Pill. Next target, Chris Pierce Jam. And there you have it. Only Gabbard still has the DRS. I'd say go into the box, pit now, undercut him, because he's just gonna cost you his race, your race. We have our first time penalty of the session. Cloaks you with a 3-second penalty for track limits. God just doesn't want something. He has a network problem. This Oak is doing the matrix, I see. Purple into the pits. Which tire is he fancying? Should be at the end of the pits because he was not at the top of the timing logs in qualifying. Fancies the hards. The hards is not the favorite tire here. Takes 3-4 laps for them to warm up. And we have a safety car in oh, it's Cloaksy. Did he crash? It's gonna be a safety car. Only caution. I don't think we're gonna get a safety car. 8 started, 7 left. Whole lot of laps to go. Yeah, it's a safety car. Safety car deployed. So that means everybody needs to hold a certain amount of delta, go faster than that, and you get a drive-through penalty. Drive-through penalty, you have to go through the pits at 80 kph an hour through the straight, which normally is 276 kph. So you lose about 190 kph on that main straight. I think Jonko is gonna be mad, man. He pitted 3 laps ago, and the optimal decision would have been to go and pit now. He's gonna get back that track position. I think he has done the work to get in front of their rivals at McLaren. It's gonna be a tight one, but let's see. Maybe he doesn't. I don't think he will. Gambit will come out in front. No, he won't. And it's gonna be a Ferrari 1-2 again. They have to play it smart, yeah? I think Spinnakop should have went into the pits now, get into a hard or maybe a medium tire, set him up for a 2-stopper, and later on you can, if you went for the medium, you can go to the hard. He's gonna try and burn some fuel, like to the sound of that. I think he's trying to burn some fuel off. Looks like the car is driving very slow, but you must remember this safety car is not an F1 car. It's double the weight. Divide the grip this F1 car has by 2 with the width and length of the chassis and the tires. And it doesn't have the downforce of the F1 car. That GT car in front, the safety car, is going flat out. That guy is driving for his life. Drive it like you stole it, buddy. Still 45 laps to go, and we have our first safety car. Frana is the second guy to get a penalty for track limits. 3 limits, you can't serve that in the pits. You have to serve it after the race. That will be added to your race time. And if your competitors is within 3 seconds behind you, you will lose that position. Everybody's bunching up. I think this will be the last lap with the safety car, and then it will enter the pits. Spinnekop will then get the luxury of maintaining the pace until the start finish line. Sensor fault on that hards. Gambit again on the hards. He didn't have any choice. I think he's sealed in behind sensor fault because they both, I think it looks like they both have damage on the sidewalls or maybe the floor. That straight line of them is hurting that top speed on the back straight. Other cars are doing 340, 350 kph. They're only doing 310, 320. 20 to 30 kilometers per hour difference. That's going to add up to about 8 tenths to 6 tenths a lap. Safety car in this lap, guys. Okay, so the safety car will peel into the pits. Spinnekop will have the luxury at dictating what pace they're driving at from here on until the start finish line, and then it's all out racing again. Let's head to the front. When does he fancy planting that throttle? He still has to wait for the safety car to pit into the pits, but it looks like no, he's not fancying. Let's see what happens. Oh, and they make contact. Sensor faults front wing off again. He's on the hards, he just pitted. That's gonna cause him track position. Oh no. That's big damage if you look at that front wing. There's no front wing left on that McLaren on the left side. Only the front piece. Just dropping down the order. From P3 to P5. He's going to lose another one down to turn 6. Crispy as jam. This is going to be an easy overtake. Just burn the battery. Brake later than him because he doesn't have that downforce on the front. Can't force those hard tires into the tarmac. That's also cold. There won't be any grip in that tire. It takes 3 to 4 laps to warm them up. And there it goes front also. No, hasn't done it yet. Oh, that was close. Just wait for it, bud. Wait for it. Don't force it. He has damage. He'll have to consider position. Through goes Frana. Now it's just gonna be a recovery race. Screw some mediums on. Change that front wing and do some qualifying laps, one after the other. So Otek's coming here, bunch of guys. Frana retired from the session. What went on down there? Safety car again. This is gonna help Sensor fault a lot. He has the luxury of going pitting, changing front wing, and coming out backing into the other. What happened there on the straight? Could not be a puncher. Maybe someone made contact. Some carbon fiber came off and punctured his wing. We won't know. We'll have to wait for the post-race reports. That will be handled in the next race. The second safety car separated by 1 lap. We do not know what happened there with Prana. We do not know. We'll see that in the after race reports or at the incident reports. We'll keep you guys let's find out. Maybe you can tell us what happened. Sensible should be catching the line here. And I think the next lap the safety car will box again, peel into the pits, and the racing will resume. We will not have DRS on the first lap, but on the second lap DRS will return, and then the overtake should be easier. Sensible pits again. Why? Why though? I don't think they fixed his front wing. Or maybe I think he fitted the wrong tire. Softs was not the best. They fixed his front wing. I think he's gonna go for hards maybe again. You know what happened there, guys? He only had one set of hards, and he wanted to keep the hards on. But unfortunately, in the game, you cannot only change the front wing. You have to change the tires. So you put on the softs. You go around, you lose nothing because the safety car is out, box again, puts on the hards, and you're just back where you started. He was at the back already. He needed to change the front wing. He lost nothing, he gained nothing. But he wants that hards on. Safety car in this lap. Racing should resume now. Again, Spinnacle will dictate the pace until the start-finish line. He will back off, clear the safety car. Safety car needs to get into the pits after the line. He can then proceed. Otherwise, in the game, for one or other reason, the car will not rev up and get the next gear. Here we go, guys. Jabs the throttle. 4th, 5th, ERS deployed. 6th, 7th, 8th. Teammate not fighting him. Let him in go. The smart thing here will be helping your teammate out, holding off the other guys. And look what we have here, guys. We have Frana. Frana, tell us about what happened there. Frana, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Man, what happened there?
I came out of that turn.
Oh, and that's for the on the direct drive on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. That's unlucky, bud. And that's unlucky, bud. You were up for some points here for RB, man.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. Thanks. Thanks for visiting us here in the paddock, and then we'll see you at the next race. Thanks. There he goes. Scratching your nose. Don't do that in the middle of the race. It will cost you points. Let's see what the Ferraris fancy here. They're gonna fight each other? No, it's papaya rules. Or must I say granate rules, because I don't know what fruits are red, eh? Maybe a waterlemoen. DRS will be active this lap. So DRS is enabled. On the next lap, oh, they do the switcheroo. Did they do the switcheroo? Yes, they did. So Spinnekop will try and hold off the other cars while his teammate creates a gap and secures P1 if he can keep a cool head. So we have a bit of a DRS train here. Everybody has to adjust the braking points here, because you're going to have overspeed. Oh, and Centerfolds goes for the overtake. He locks up. Did he make contact? No, he didn't. Blopel goes for the switchback. The outside. No, he doesn't get it. Centerfolds locks that in. So it's up to P4. Clears those two cars in what, 1.5 laps. Onto the gearbox of Gambit. But we must remember, we think that Gambit and Sensor has some sidepod damage because the straight line speed is horrible on those cars. Out of turn 13, onto the main straight, up the gears. This is going to be flat out. DRS open, doesn't get the overtake. There's some damage on that Williams. Front end plate missing. Doesn't seem to bother him that much. He's still keeping up with the fast guys. Crispiest Jam fans is in a pit. Only 6 laps on the mediums. Maybe he has some damage. We do not know. We'll see now. Does he change the front wing or not? Front end plate is missing. But they do not change the front wing. I think he will come back again and change the front wing, or he will have to wait for the safety car. Pitting again now will only destroy your race. You won't gain anything. But this is gonna hurt him. Cold, hard tires, those tires takes a while to get up to temperature. It's not even fast when it's up to temperature. It takes quite a few laps for those tires to get optimal and into a racing condition. We have some overtakes here. Looks like overtake coming, I think, in about 15 seconds. Oh, and they make contact. That should be a front wing. It's not a front wing, but they make contact. He's pushing him, almost pushes that car into the air. Alongside him. DRS opens, but he has some damage side port or floor. His straight line speed is horrible. Only 310. On the inside, Transit pushes him a bit. Oh, no, he doesn't. He leaves space. Is he gonna get the overtake done? Inside becomes the outside, which is not optimal. Oh, and look at that race, boys. Racecraft at its finest. He has battery, he has DRS, he has track position. I think this is settled. He will take 2, separating the 2 Ferraris. Oh, and Sensorfalls takes it again. This guy will not stop hunting that win. Come high or come low, you are not safe. Into turn 6, turns it flat out, up the gears. He needs to break this DRS toe now. That will make Gambit a sitting duck for the other Ferrari Spinnekop, which is on a 22 lap stint on the mediums. he surely has to go and pit. Those tires is like a 15-old lap soft. There will be not much left. He's dropping away from Gambit. Will he get DRS? No, I don't think he will. He's just a few tenths off from the detection line now. Now it's 1.3 seconds. He misses out on DRS. So he is vulnerable to the Williams behind him, which has a bit of front wing damage. I think the right end plate is off. This is gonna be easy. No defensive moves. No defensive moves from the Ferrari. Closes the DRS, onto the brakes, down the gears, into 10. 14, 15, oh, and it gets a bit of track limits there, or maybe, I don't think it was. I think the tire was still on the line. Oh yeah, I think Spinnacle goes into the pits. He needs to get rid of those old tackies. Doesn't fancy a 10-second penalty for exceeding pit limit. Other tires on, 2.2 seconds. Good stop. This should give him some advantage over the other cars. He has a fresher set of hards. We won't see the difference now because all the other cars, except for the Mercedes in front of him, his tires are already on operating temperature. But at the end of the stint, he should be gaining because there's an 8 lap difference between them. He just needs to clear this Mercedes. You don't want to be sitting behind another car with fresh hards. It's going to scrub them up and cause lockups and oversteers and all that nasty stuff. It's going to be quite hard. The tires are still soft. There's not that much grip in them as of now. If you can just get into DRS, hold on to DRS for maybe another lap, and he should be able to make the pass on the next lap. He is a quick driver. 5 tenths, maybe he can do it now. Battery almost full. Up the gears, DRS opens, 12 kilometers per hour at his disposal with the ERS open. No defensive moves whatsoever from the Mercedes. Locks up a bit. He's going to try the switcheroo, doesn't get it. Also has some front wing damage, I see. Only the end plate doesn't give you that much of a problem. There's some difference, you can feel it, but it's not that hard. And into turn 2, elevation change again. Luckily it's a positive camber turn there, so your car is being forced into the tarmac because it's a bend upwards. 2 tenths faster on the first sector on his fastest lap. Let's look at the timing pages a bit and see what we have there. So we're gonna compare Spinnakop against Sensorfield because that's his race. 142. No, that's the wrong one. So we have a 1. It went out of the pits. So we'll look at the next lap. Then he has put in a lap without any pits or any other thingamajiggies. It looks like Sensorfield is catching Jonko a bit. Just have to monitor those times. No one has DRS, no one bunched up. The DRS should not be noticeable at 2 seconds. Crispy Jam is just falling away now. That front wing is causing him a bit of problems, not a lot. So Spinnakop puts on the fastest lap of the race so far. So he is definitely catching. He is definitely faster than his rival in P2 in the McLaren seat. Sensorfield is falling away about 2 tenths lap as it stands now from Jonko. But keep in mind, Jonko still has to pit. And that medium tyre is not getting any faster anytime soon. He will be on a downwards trajectory on pure race pace. That tyre is 15 laps old, and round about lap 18 you should be starting feeling the loss of grip and loss of performance, while the hard tyre should be able to do about 30 laps. It's doable, it's hard, but it is manageable. Bit of a small lock-up there for the McLaren. Throws it into turn 14, 15, and up the gears. Throws it into turn 16, through 4th gear, up the gears, and is going to reach about 246 kilometers per hour. No, 300 kilometers kph. There's not a lot of braking going on here. It's just going to be scrubbing off that speed with the dab of a brake. Into turn 3, then 4 is going to be a flat out. 5 is going to be a flat out. Hits the apex there, which is not very hard. On the 100 meter board, you get onto the brakes, release it while you're getting into the turn, hit the apex, up the gears, through turn 7 and 8, flat out, 250 kph, dab of the brakes into turn 8. On the brakes again, throws it in, small amount of throttle, 4th gear, you plant that right foot, into turn 11, hit the apex here, eat the curb, small dab of the brakes there, wash out, come in again, and rotate that car to get onto the throttle, and set yourself up for a 1.2 kilometer straight. I might have mentioned it, but this is the longest straight on the F1 calendar. Onto the brakes into turn 14. There's a small turn here, they call it turn 15, which is not actually a noticeable corner, but there is a corner there. Turn 16, which is your final corner, and that finishes your lap. Let's see what he gets. He gets a 138.3, and his rival now comes from the back straight into turn 14, 120 meters, you get onto the brakes, throws into turn 14 into 2nd gear, goes through turn 15, which is not noticeable, like I said, throws it into turn 16, up the gears, plant the foot, and let's see what time lap he gets. So 137.3, which is another fast lap, 1.14 faster than his previous lap. You remember he said the previous fastest lap also. This guy is on a qualifying speed. He wants to catch his rival in P2, maybe even wants to catch his teammate and secure the win for himself and put himself on the top of the logs. This lap should not be fast. He's already in sector 1, 2 tenths down on himself. That tire should be coming into operating temperature, which will be optimal and be a lot easier and balanced. No DRS here, bit of boring at the moment. I'm just rambling about and trying to keep you guys engaged. Thanks for staying with me, and yeah, like and subscribe. Nobody's gaining, cuts the corner bit there from Blowpool. Let's head down to Jonko, our race leader, in turn 3 and 4. Rotates the car, gets quite a nice exit, doesn't get onto the exit strip, onto the braking, down to gear 2, finishes it with a nice exit onto the gears, up through 5, 6, and then throws it into the left corner, and then to the right. Small dabs on the brakes, then onto the throttle again. Another small amount of brake, throws it into turn, I think it's 10 and 11. No, 11 is coming up now. 75 meter board, jump onto the brakes, turn left, turn right at the turn 12, wash out, come in again, hit the apex at turn 13, and then set yourself up for a 1.2 kilometer straight. Remember not to scratch your nose. It happened to Frana, he scratched his nose there, and that caused him to DNF. No marginal gains on anyone except for Spinnekop, catching his rival small amounts at a time, which will, I think it will be a close race end between Spinnekop and Sensafeld. Gambit, I think, is just holding station where he is now. Don't want to get into a race that does not affect him. Just race your own race. Stay out of the dirty air, conserve your tires, do your stint, and maybe at lap 45 or 40 you get into a medium and push on from there onwards and try to catch your rivals at the front. Then they should be on a very old hard, a very damaged hard, a very slow hard, while you're on a much fresher medium that could do a overtake not only on the DRS zones but on turns 7 and 8, fast sweeping corners, maybe turn 9, 10 even, and also at turn 6, which is also a prime overtaking opportunity. Just look at the direction change of these cars. Big cars, heavy cars, but very nimble and fast. So it looks like Gambit is saying, no, let's get this racing started and put down some metal to the floor. He is, I think, harvesting some battery now. No, he's not. I think he's going to start deploying and catching his a competitor at the front. Because that time has changed now from 2.4 is at 2 seconds now. But the straight line speed doesn't look that hot on that Aston. I think he has some side pod, or his rear wing is just a bit high. Apex, perfect apex there. Exit nice. And he's going to come into 10-16 on the brakes, down to 4th, straight into the corner, and then finish it off with a 138.4, 5/10 slower than his fastest lap. No noticeable gains except for Spinnekop again, catching Blowpole, and also everybody ahead of him. And I'll see you guys now. Just want to get a quick sip. So yeah, it looks like Gamma just has a higher downforce setup because he catches sensor fault in sector 2. Let's look at the lap times. So if we look at sector 2, it's going to be a 29.6, 29.7 average on the last 3 laps. And for sensor fault, it's going to be, I think, about 2/10 slower. Yeah, so it's a 129.8, which is quite a bit. What did I say? 26. Yeah, so it's 2/10 fast in the second sector, but at sector 1 and sector 3, he loses quite a bit. So I only think he has a higher downforce setup, which is awesome in the slow sectors. You have that downforce to force that tires into the tarmac and get the rotation out of the car into the corners. Get the braking done, get the turning done, and get the exits done. But you're going to struggle on the straights where the prime overtaking opportunities is, and you're going to be a sitting duck if you have a too high downforce setup. I did not see what the weather says. Maybe they forecasted some rain, and then that will come into play for Gambit because you need a higher downforce setup for the rain to make the turns and make the corners and make the braking points and apexes. Burns a bit of ERS. Sensafault is catching a small amount. No, he's losing. It was 4 seconds now, about 3-4 laps ago, and he's at 7.8 now. Loses about 3/10 there on that straight. He should gain it at then 14 and 15. Oh, and Jonko goes for the pit. I think he's gonna put some medium tackies on. Gets the entry at the. It's a bit scrappy at the entry. The minimum kph you need to go in is 80. He went through with 59. He doesn't want that 10-second penalty. That's gonna cost your race in a big way. It can throw you out of podium contention. Look at this, guys. The two Ferraris again with each other. If a Spinnakup can catch his teammate, they can play the DRS games again. And they've split the strategy, which puts Sensafaults in a very, very discomfort and I think a very vulnerable position, because you can cover off one strategy by pitting the next lap or pitting the lap prior. It's hard to tell when your teammate's gonna pit, but if he start pushes and uses his battery to the point of depletion, you know that's a in lap, and you can pit before that. The problem is when you have a second driver in play, you can only cover off one, so they can force you to go and pit with a threat of an undercut, and then the teammate ahead can go through, block you off, and then the second teammate can just take you out overtake you in the pits. Let's see, maybe Centerfolds fancies a one stopper, or I think already pitted twice, but maybe fancies taking this hard to the end. It will not gain him anything pitting now. There will be no tire delta, nothing to gain. He needs to stay out. Just put in the laps until around about lap 40. Then he can switch to the medium, or maybe lap 38, round about there. He can switch to the mediums and then maybe go and do something at the front. Just on a side note, John Coe's tires will not be in operating position. That's why he's losing some time to the car behind his teammate. And it will take about another 2 laps for him to get those tires into operating temperature and get the performance out of them. Crispy Jam looks like he's struggling at the back there. I think he still has some front wing. Yes, he does still have some front wing. A bit of a lock up there. That's going to be more susceptible to guys that has front wing damage, because you don't have that downforce forcing those front axle into the tarmac, gripping the tarmac, and that's going to cause some lockups, overextending the brakes and causing some flat spots. While Spirokop is losing time to his teammate, that is a fresh set of hards. He does not fancy raising his teammate and losing it out to his main competitor, which is his teammate. Same machinery, same car, same engine, same supplier. And John Coe puts up the fast lap with a 137.0. I think his teammate did a 137.2 or 137.4, 2/10 or 3/10 faster. Heading into turn 11 and 12 now for Sensafolds, which is leading the race. That tire is not gone yet. It's still with us. The grip is still there. It's not as fast as it was 5-10 laps ago, but it's still not negligible. He still needs to, if he wants to win the race, I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe extend the stint and finish on the hards here, or maybe he fancies a pit around about lap 38-40. Then he still has to do the overtakes on the two Ferraris, which is bunched up. And yeah, I think there Jonko overtake is incoming, eh? Let's head down to him. And Gambit goes to the pits. I think he's going to switch to maybe the medium. I think the hard is going to be a hard call now. I don't think he has another hard at his disposal. Let's see what he... I don't know. Oh, he switches to medium. Yeah, I think that was the best option there. To switch to a hard now would be quite damaging to yourself. And yeah, we have an overtake incoming. A 22 lap old hard against a 3 lap old hard. You'll guys see the difference now between the two cars and the two tires. One old hard, one new hard. The hard on the Ferrari should be at operating temperature now. Should be at the best it should be during his stint. And yeah, let's see. You can see there's not a lot of understeer. Although he's in the dirty air, he has some fresh rubber on, and you can see how he closes that gap. 3 tenths, 2.8 tenths, 2.6, 2.5, maybe even 2 tenths, 3 tenths. Over the detection 9, he gets the DRS. That Williams still has some front end plate missing, and 1.5 tenths DRS isn't in play even yet. Goes to the inside, no defensive measures whatsoever from the Williams. Gets onto the brakes, down to second gear, turn the car in, rotate it, get onto the throttle, up the gears to run about 240 kph, onto the brakes, throws it into the turn 16, onto the throttle, up the gears, and I don't think there's any danger from behind with the DRS. Is a bit far, almost 1 second, 9 tenths, and yeah, he is A4 away, hunting down his main rival in that McLaren for Sensafold. Let's look what the Delta says. I think he's gonna catch him quite fast now. That hard tires of Sensafold isn't done yet. I remember it's not done. It's not done yet. It's not in a very good shape, but there's still some pace left in it. It's still a long way to go for about 20 laps. So that tire should then finish up around about 40. That's a lot of laps for that tire still to go, eh? Yeah, that's not. I don't think he's gonna win the race if he stays on that hard. He lost 4 tenths in only that sector 2. It's gonna lose around about a second a lap if it goes on like this. I think he needs to pit and get this thing over and done with, so he can start recovering his race. A 3-second penalty just came in for Spinnekop for track limits, so he already had 2 violations of track limits. That means the white lines on the inside and the outside. Your 4 tires needs to stay within those two white lines at all times. 2 strikes. On the 3rd strike, you get a 3-second penalty. That penalty is not servable in the pits. You have to serve it afterwards. It will be added to your race time, which means if your rival or competitor finishes within 3 seconds behind you, you will lose that position. We have a guy in the league by the name of Mr. Skywalker 1874. He is prone to getting a lot of time penalties. I think his record stands on 39 seconds. That's only for track limits. They say a race without a penalty is not a race. So Gambit at this moment, the only one on the medium tire, which is the C3, a bit faster than the C2, around 1 lap, optimal conditions, low fuel. It should gain you about 3 tenths per lap. It's not negligible. It's not. We shouldn't forget that medium tyre is going to be faster at this moment. But as it goes on, the medium tyre will fall off faster, meaning the pace will get slower faster than the harder tyre, because it's a more durable, harder tyre. It doesn't bite that much, but it lasts longer. Okay, man, sorry. So Spinnekop, the other Ferrari, gaining onto the Williams, which says a 25 lap old hard. That should be brutal, keeping that car now on track. With that front end plate missing, that rear axle doesn't want to grip, which means the rear of that car does not want to rotate. You have understeer into every corner. Look at that time being gained, just dropping like a stone. I think he's gonna get DRS only three corners away in his 5/10. I think he's gonna get those 5/10 in this 2 corners. Yeah, he's gonna get it, or maybe not. Yeah, he's getting. No, he does not. Good job. Oh, there's a caution. Why is there caution? Sector 3. What happened? Why do we have a yellow flag? It's not a double yellow, but it's a yellow. I do not see anything on my track map. I think it's only a glitch. There's no double yellows. I think if you there's nothing going on in sector 3. I think the overtake is coming around about here now. 4/10 away from Blowpole. He has some front wing damage. He's not gonna fight this one. He knows who he is racing. Just wanna settle for P4. He still has some danger from behind, from Gambit. I think he should go and pit roundabout now and switch to the medium, fix that front wing, and maybe hold on to P5. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be brutal. It's doable, but it's gonna be hard. And John Go is catching his rival in front very fast. They started on, I think, 12 seconds. I cannot remember, sorry for that. But he's catching him very fast. "24 lap old hards against 7 lap old odds." That's not a fight you want. It's not a fight you're gonna win. And as we saw now that the McLaren there has some side port or floor damage, because the top end speed is not that hot on him. He only does about 310 kph, while all the other cars does about 320, 330. Some cars, but with DRS, does 340 kph. Let's ride on board with Sensible and see what these tires are capable of at this moment with 25 laps on them. Not a lot of understeer. Turns in to turn 2, turn 3, he needs to rotate it here. Into turn 4, it's going to be flat out, then a small corner at turn 5. Heads down to turn 6, 100 meter mark, slams onto the brakes, missed the apex by a few meters. Up the gears, flat out on the right pedal. To gear 6, throws into turn 7 at 250 kph. A small dab coming up on the brakes here. Down to turn 9, third gear. Doesn't want to rush the throttle here, you're going to spin out. Then gear 4, 5, up the gears into turn 11. On the brakes at 75 meters. Throws it in. A small dab here again at turn 12. Washes out, comes into turn 13 apex, wash it out again, set yourself up for the straight, and look at that time, guys. 5.9 in 2 laps. That's about a second a lap that he's losing to his main competitor. Spinnekop, I think, is going to be, if Sensible doesn't solve this, it's a quite hard one. If I was in the position, I would not also know what to do. Maybe go and pit now. Get rid of these hards and screw some mediums on and try and salvage this. Because, my friend, you're not going to win this race. You're not gonna get P2. Maybe you get P3. But yeah, Gambit is on Spinnekop with only 4 tenths separating them. You're gonna lose out on podium. You need to go and pit and get rid of these tires. It's gonna cost you. Let's get some battles going here. Needs to get this overtake done. He's in the dirty air. He has mediums on, which is not gonna be fast the whole time. He needs to get this overtake done. This dirty air is gonna hurt him in the corners, like you saw there. That dirty air washes over that front wing. You can't lock that front axle into the tarmac and get the grip that's required to bring it down from 260 kph down about to 220 kph. He needs to set up this exit quite good to get that entry into turn 11 and 12, where the detection line for the next straight DRS is. Throw it in, miss the apex a bit. Rotate the car very nicely, washes out, get back into the apex, and then deploys the battery. The straight line speed on this Aston is not as good as it should be. You can see he's already losing time. DRS opens, look at that flap. It's open wide. Let's see if he can get, no, he's not going to fancy the overtake here. Maybe lunge, no, he does not. Turns the car into turn 14, exits on turn 15, up the gears, 50 meter mark, slams on the brakes, throws the car into turn 16, very close. He has battery left, opens the DRS. Spinnekop doesn't fancy a defensive move there, lets him through, but is he going to go for the inside? No, he does not. He says, mate, you go ahead, I'll catch you later. Your mediums is not going to outlive my hards. In about a few laps, I'm going to come for you. But we must remember, that Ferrari in P4, Spinnekop, he still has a 3-second time penalty hanging over his head. What he will have to serve after the race. Yeah, it's only a 3-second penalty. Look at the data tracker, guys. Our leader, 3 stops, followed by our first Ferrari in P2 with 2 stops, Gambit with 2 stops, and Spinnekop with 3 stops, executing his strategy and his stints to perfection. And Crispy Jam goes for another pit. Let's see what tire is. Soft for 13 laps. I think he's gonna go for the fastest lap. Let's see if no, Spinnekop just wants his race. He says, I'll manage my P4. Still points on the board. Still putting Ferrari up into leading the constructor championship. He's gonna get some DRS here after turn 16 on the pit straight into turn 1, which is the biggest elevation change for the Chinese Grand Prix, with 7.4 meters into turn 1, which is going to be a first hairpin of this track, which is 5.451 kilometers around the track. And they're almost done now. They cleared about 280 kilometers now. Only 12 laps remaining. A lot of things can happen in 12 laps. I think if Gambit wants that P2, he needs to put in 12 qualifying laps to go and fetch Sensible. And John Coe also gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. So now he doesn't need to only clear Sensible, but he needs to build a 3-second advantage to take the win here. Sensible is not out of contention for this win. If he wins this, he will be not only the winner for the sprint, but also for the main race and our first 100% race for Tier 2. Look at the screen. Gambit also getting a 3-second penalty for track limits. These guys are tired now. They've been sitting here for about an hour and a half. Sensible goes. Oh, we missed the overtake there. We missed the overtake there. Onto the pit straight. This is going to be a battle because Sensible does not concede a position that easily. Come high or come low, he is not going to give you it that easy. I don't think he has another choice with the state of that tires. It's 29 laps old against a 12 lap old hard. It's not much of a fight. There's not much Sensible can do. That tire is not going to love this in the dirty air, being old, being degraded, being grained. Yeah, it's not gonna like. The only thing you can do now is deploy the battery, maybe get the DRS for one more lap, but there's no saving this now. He is sealed into turn P2, maybe P3. That medium of Gambit is not gonna hold on for much longer, being the faster tire of the C3 and C2, which is the hard and the medium respectively. But yeah, it's not going to hold on to that race pace, pure race pace that it did 5, 6, 7 laps ago. It's going to start falling away now, and the tires, well, if we look at the Spinnaker, he also has a 21 lap old hard, which is not that fast, or not that fresh anymore. Sensible also has a 29 lap old or 30 lap old hard, which is, I don't think it's going to be faster than the medium now. Let's look about to the race times. So Sensible has done the last lap was a 139.2, and Gambit has done a 137.4. So that means he's 2 seconds faster a lap, or 1.8 seconds faster a lap. Look at that, 9 seconds, 10.0, 10.1, 9.8. Oh, and Blowpill pits again. Why though? Does he have some front wing damage? Could not have been caused by another car. Maybe he has run off. He doesn't fancy the softs anymore. Maybe he fancies a medium. I would have stayed out and secured myself at P5, but it's not me driving. Oh, we want to change the front wing. That front wing is killing him out there. And that, I think, happened around about lap 12, 15, has been doing the whole race with that damaged front wing. Sensor fault. Blowpill 10 seconds crossing the pit line and exit. Oh my man, that's gonna cost you. I think you sealed yourself for P6. That is gonna cost you P5 and putting Williams ahead of the Mercedes. You must remember, you can't drive over the white line on entry or exit. If you drive over it, it's going to be a 10-second penalty, which you can serve inside your pit box. But pitting again, I don't think that's sensible. Oh, a bit of oversteer there for him. The cars are light now. The floor isn't generating that much of downforce now because the suspension isn't being forced into the tarmac now. So, but you will be faster, your car will be lighter, and your tire deck will be slowed by a minuscule amount. Down to 8 seconds, but he still has a 3-second hover hanging over him, so he has to not only overtake Sensible, but he has to build a 3-second lead to keep hold of P2. I don't think Spinnaker will get onto the podium tonight, but Ferrari will definitely be the team ahead of everyone else in the Constructors' Championship. caution again. Sector 3, which hasn't gone away. I think it's a glitch. Don't think there's anything. 7.7 seconds. 9 laps to go. 7 laps to do the overtake, and then 3 more to finish yourself. Cross the pit lane again. He served the 10-second penalty in the pits, went out, crossed the white line again, and got another 10-second. That's going to be blue flags. You need to concede that position, otherwise you're going to get another 10-second, or maybe even a drive-through. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that penalty yet. I just have to look at the rulebook for that instance. 8 seconds. So the pace gain of that medium and hard, I think, has dissipated at this moment. I don't think Sensifold will lose the P2, but I don't think that the Spinner Cup in the second Ferrari will get a podium tonight, although they started in P1 and P3. Some contact in the beginning stages of this Grand Prix forced Sensifold to go and pit. I think he's on his 3rd or 4th pit at the moment, which is not bad considering that it's the only McLaren on track against a team with very good and very capable drivers. That bloke there at the back with the Williams, he is trying to push for that fastest lap. You can see he's leaving no margins on the white lines with the wheels. He wants that fastest lap. Let's drive on board with him. Into turn 3, 4. Exits of turn 4 is going to be a flat out. Goes into turn 5. Also going to be a flat out. 100 meter mark. You're going to jab on the brakes. Throw the car into turn 6. Prime overtaking position there. Gets onto the throttle. Deploys the ERS. 250 kph into the left sweeping hand corner. Oh, and he gets a bit of oversteer there. Touches the grass. Dab of the brakes to turn 8. Hard braking for turn 9. Exits turn 10. 75 meter mark. Gets onto the brakes. Throws it into turn 11 and 12. Gets a DRS detection zone, so he's going to have DRS. Gets into turn 13 on the apex. Burns the ERS. Opens the rear wing here at the front, which is going to add some 12 km per hour extra to his top speed, which brings it up to 331. Going to get 335. No, he's not. He's going to top speed is going to be 333. Slowest corner on the track is going to be turn 14 at only 60 kph. Exits turn 15. Up the gears to turn 16. On the brakes down to turn 16. Gear 4 up to. And it gets a 34.9 fastest lap. I thought that it was going to go for the fastest lap. He should be getting some blue flags now, or he already had blue flags now. He should concede that, otherwise it's going to be a penalty, like I previously said. I'm not sure what the penalty is for that. You can see there on the right hand side on that electro board, it's a blue flag, which means you need to concede the position for the overlapping cars. If not, it will be a penalty. I'm not sure. I think it's a drive-through penalty, or maybe even a 10-second penalty. 7/10 slower than his previous lap, which is the fastest lap at the 33.9. And guys, I think this is set. This is your final finishing drivers. But we have to see, anything can happen. This is motor racing. This is not tennis or hockey. This is motor racing. Anything can change. Anything can happen at a flick of a moment. Any small lockup, any small mistake, anything can happen. Wheel spin puts you into the wall, or wheel spin, it puts you facing the wrong direction. Your competitor overtakes you and you lose out on 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions onto the main straight. Without DRS, it's 300 and 10 kilometers an hour. So on this Williams, he gains about 20 kph. Is that not crazy? 60 kph for turn 14 and about 200 or 180 for turn 16. Gambit's tires should be falling away now. He goes a bit wide. Oh, and he has a spin. Like I said, only a small mistake can cost you a podium position or even finishing the race. It's not done if it's done. Oh, yeah, what's that there? It's not over if it's not. It's not over until it's done. That's the phrase I was looking for. 250 kph through turn 7 and 8. Small dabs on the brake into turn 9. Flat out to turn 10 on the throttle up to gear 4, 5, 6. Then you gear down to gear 3 on the brakes. Maybe turn gear 2. At turn 13, washes out to the entry, hits the apex, set yourself up for the main or the back straight, which is the longest straight in on the F1 calendar at 1.2 kilometers per hour. A big lock up for Sensorfield, hits that curb there, cuts the corner a bit, cuts there at turn 16 onto the pavement there on the right. There's not going to be a lot of braking going on here. It's just going to be small dabs to slow your car down to get to turn 2, which is turn 3, a positive camber. But you're going to get a 10-second penalty if you're not going to concede the position. No blue lights on the gantries coming up, so I think he's allowed to overtake or unlap himself. A bit of oversteer for Blopel there, which is on a quite fresh set of softs. Crispy Jam in front of him is on a quite older set of softs, but I think he's a bit far for Blopel to catch him. So Gambit is 4 seconds now off Sensorfield. 4 laps remaining, 4 flyer laps. But even if he overtakes him, he will not get P2 if he does not build a 3-second gap. He still has that 3-second penalty hanging over his head for track limits. Gambit trying his best, trying to catch up to Sensorfield, securing himself a P2, 18 points with P2. Remember, there's no extra point for fastest lap this year. It has been taken off the scoreboards. There's not gonna be any points for fastest lap. So P1 is going to be with 25 points, with P2 18, P3 15, and P4 for Spinnercorp is going to be 12 points. Crispy Jam is going to be it's P5. It's going to be 10 points. P6 for Blopel is going to be with 7 points. Frana and Cloaksy will not get any points because they did not finish. They DNF'd, means that not finish. 3.4 seconds to go. To go to catch his rival at center field. Remember, he still has to overtake and gain 3 seconds, extend that gap to 3 seconds. That tire is almost 40 laps old. That's quite a feat, eh? On a track that the degradation is not that high, but still, it's quite a feat taking that tires to 38 laps, not spinning out, having a lot of lockups, not facing the consequences of that lockups. It will eat into that performance of the front axle, biting into the tarmac, getting that car rotated and getting him out of the exits. 2.5 seconds, heading into P7, throwing it into P8 with a small dab of the brakes. You don't want to fully implode on the brakes there, because you're going to take out the turning capability of the tire. You're going to lock it up, and then to turn 11, 75 meters onto the brakes, hits the apex at turn 11, 12. On the exit you wash out, come into turn 13, hits the apex, wash out again, and set yourself up for the longest straight on the F1 calendar. 1.7 seconds, guys. 2 laps remaining. 1.8. Onto the brakes, slowest corner on this track with only 60 kph. Up the gears, full throttle. No margin left. No margin left. This is all out. If you want that P2, you need to go and get it. It's not going to be easy to overtake. Sensible does not concede a position that easily. Out of P4, P5 is going to be a flat out. P6 prime overtaking opportunity here, but yeah, I think, guys, this is sealed. 2.1 seconds times is going away from Gambit, and not getting anything. Yellow flags at sector 2. Why? Blowpill spun again. Blowpill spun again. Slag. 1.5 seconds for Gambit. He's almost there. 1.1. But Sensible waited there to get the detection line from Blowpill, get the DRS, open it, and fly by, gaining you about another 12 to 15 kph on this main straight. Heading into turn 14 at 60 kph, straight into 15's exit on the curves on the left, up the gears, and into turn 16, the last corner, which leads to the pit straight. Let's get the penultimate lap here and follow John Coe with the lead. Nice apex there, good exit, avoids the curb into turn 7, 255 kph through turn 7, a small dab on the brakes, hits the apex perfectly, a bit of oversteer there into turn 8, turn 9, beautiful, cut the curb there into turn 10, up the gears to turn 11, 75 meters, you get onto the brakes, it's a lot of curb there, over the apex. You can hear from the engine's revs there that these tires are not with us anymore. .320 kph on the back straight, deploying all the battery has left onto the brakes. Here's the apex, exit nice on turn 15. 50 meters, you get into the brakes. And your Tier 2 Chinese Grand Prix winner is John Coe. Well done, bud. Well done. followed by Sensafold in P2. And then Gambit that finishes out the podium positions, followed by our race winners teammates Spinnakop in P4. Thanks guys for watching with us. Hope you enjoyed. Drop a like and subscribe. Remember to turn on the notification button so you can get all the other stuff. We will be streaming from F1 SA official in due course, so look us up on YouTube and on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. Drop us a like and a follow. We'd appreciate it. And that, guys, is your Tier 2 first race of the calendar, all finished up. There's our celebration. So we have a race winner, John Coe. Fastest lap belongs to Blowpill on the softs. And the driver of the day, Chris Pierce Jam, in last position. Most overtakes is going to be Chris Pierce Jam. No, he's not last position. I think he's 6th. Yeah, he's 5th. Sorry for my mistake. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.